Hello, everyone. Welcome along to another very quick edition of the Luton Town Supporters Trust podcast. I've managed to make my way up to the Bobbers Gantry, where I've been joined by the Lutonian journalist James Cunliffe to reflect on what can only be called an annoying afternoon. Luton Town 2, Chelsea 3. I should just say, if you hear any background noise, the groundsmen are already working on the pitch below us. We can't do nothing about that. It's New Year. They want to get away like the rest of us, so fair play to them. James, well, are we 5 minutes after the full-time whistle? What's your overriding or immediate thought to that game?
Oh, what could have been, really. I suppose in the end it was a little too late. The goals just felt a bit soft. I mean, Chelsea really didn't have many chances. The ones they got, they took, and Luton huffed and puffed and couldn't. And, you know, it hit the bar twice, had one chalked off, scored two late on, and then you just wanted... And by that point, they were whacking in crosses and everything felt like it was going to get something, but just the last one just wasn't right and it didn't happen. And they were really good all day for getting in crossing positions, but the first half, just the final ball was absolutely pants. And then, it's just a really frustrating one because they really could have got something out of this.
The annoying thing is I didn't think Chelsea were much cop. Yeah, they had a couple of flashy wide players, but once they took the lead, I mean, they're working on the pitch behind us. It must be a bed for these Chelsea players, the amount of time they were rolling around on it. It was embarrassing. Nicholas Jackson, yes, I know he took a nasty hit, but the amount of times he rolled around on the floor, I mean, the Luton fans were singing, "You are embarrassing." And once or twice, even the Chelsea players were looking at him and saying, "Will you get up, mate, for Christ's sake?" The referee had to pull him up twice. I mean, it was just one of those afternoons. But that first half, it just felt flat. It just felt like a 12:30 Saturday kickoff. Absolutely crap. No one's been to the pub and had a few beers and no one could get no energy going. The players looked flat. There was no aggression that we're used to with Luton. Defenders were getting rolled too easily. Barkley and Sambi in the middle were given as good as they could get, but then we couldn't isolate them going forward. And Chelsea just kind of picked us off really twice. You know, the first one, there was a lot of conjecture in the Kenilworth end to whether Nicholas Jackson's offside. He's not. We could have done much better with the shot that got rebounded. And then obviously Cole Palmer, I think it was, who put it in the back of the net. And then the second one, Madueke's just walked through and, you know, good strike, but he shouldn't be able to get into that position as easily as he did.
Yeah, it was a good strike, but I mean, Kaminsky saved those all this season, hasn't he? And I mean, it came out of nothing. There were two players monitoring him. I don't know how he got the shot away. He must have seen the slightest gap and went for it and got it. But that's the difference, isn't it? Luton needed like 10 chances to get something on target. They just needed that one, and one small half sight of a goal, got it. And the first one, I mean, you know, Kabore gives it away to Palmer, and you've got to give it to Palmer. It's an unbelievably arrow-like strike, but you know, Kabore has been wonderful of late, but it's had one of those afternoons today, and it just wasn't happening for him. And that mistake that early on didn't help the atmosphere that you were talking about.
No, it didn't. And I don't know if Kabore was fully fit or not. Obviously, he was hooked at half time. Maybe there was some tactical influence in that as well to get Chio on and get running at Colwill, who looked dodgy every time someone ran at him this afternoon. Quite how he's in an England squad, again, I do not know. Chong also came on at half-time. Chong came on for Jacob Brown, who, again, probably 3 games in a week, just caught up with him a little bit.
Also, he was a red card waiting to happen as well.
Yeah, he was.
He's not that he's malicious or anything, but he got booked, and he did go high on someone's boot as well. I think the next one would have been a red, and you don't want to be in that position. So
no. Unless his name was Conor Gallagher, who was always going to get booked for a second time. Quite how Conor Gallagher didn't get booked this afternoon, I've no idea. Think it's 6 fouls that he registered, 0 yellow cards. There are only 2 yellow cards. Chelsea, time wasting after the second goal, disaster, time wasted. And then finally, in the 93rd, 03 minute, Colwill gets booked for time wasting. The goalkeeper was time wasting from the first 10 minutes, and the referee was looking at him, not a single thing. He may as well have wore one of those stupidly coloured Chelsea shirts, the referee. Absolutely atrocious. +6 at the end of the second half. Could have doubled that for the time wasting. They
spent 6 minutes rolling around on the ground, and I don't know what the time wasting about. They were 2-0 up at the time and really not looking in any danger. So I don't know what that was about.
You're exactly right. I said to someone in the crowd, the only way this is going to turn is if he keeps time wasting, because he'll get the Kenilworth ends back up and then he'll get some energy into the game. And that's exactly what happened. Unfortunately, we went 3-0 down at the time. To be fair to the defenders, they probably expected Jackson to fall over for the 500th time, but he didn't for once in his life. Played a lovely ball through to Cole Palmer. Couldn't quite see how it got in, whether he rounded Kaminsky or whether he just slid it past him. But either way, when that bloke's going to one-on-one with you, it's only ending up in one place.
He's rounded Kaminsky with a sort of rolled the ball top of his foot, and then there's 3 defenders chasing back, and he's just got ice in his veins. And it's just, I mean, that's the difference, isn't it? Because Luton didn't, and they so many times the ball was pinging around the 6-yard box or put through the 6-yard box at one time by Chong, wonderful ball, and Eli hadn't anticipated it. And I mean, that's just a difference, isn't it? Really, you come against this. I mean, when it was 3-0, I didn't think it was a 3-0 game. They weren't battering Luton, but that is the difference.
Yeah, I mean, they spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of quid on this team, and you kind of saw it in three moments of quality, really, because I don't think Kaminsky's made a save of note anyway in the entire game. Petrovic is the one who's been the busiest, certainly the longer the game goes on. You're right about Eli. Chong put a lovely ball across the 6-yard box. Throw your whole body, the kitchen sink and the swimming pool at it, Eli. And then, as it turns out, you'll have had hat-trick, having scored 2 that followed it. There was a key moment, wasn't there? 3-0 down. We've mentioned this a few times on the podcast this season. If you're called Sheffield United or you're called Burnley, you capitulate in that situation. Yeah. But this Luton team, they roll their sleeves up and you just don't know what these 2 goals are going to do. However, Rob had to make a change tactically. Andros Townsend goes off, Carlton Morris goes on, and for the first time in the entire afternoon, Thiago Silva had someone up against him. It was an absolute Rolls Royce for the first 65 minutes of the game. We just could not get at the other guy without Silva coming round and covering. But then finally, Silva has some work to do. And lo and behold, 2 crosses later, and Eli's got a couple of goals, and we're right back in this. And the crosses from Alfie Doughty, he's turned into peak David Beckham.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's not in the first half. It was everyone. Him, Townsend, Kabore. Every cross was too long or not in the right area and just wasn't happening. But they were getting in those positions, and it's good that they turned it around in the end. Once you got into the last 10 minutes and then the 6 minutes of added time, it felt like every cross was going in the mixer in the right spot, but there was a body in the way, or Luton weren't anticipating enough, or not the right connection, and just the final bit of quality really wasn't there. But Luton have hit the bar twice. Eli's had I don't know, it's harder to hit the bar than it was to score. I think he stooped too low and tried to get too much on it, hit the bar, and then Morris has hit the bar where I want them to save from Petrovic, and it's just like they threw the kitchen sink at Chelsea and really should have got something and finished 2023 with something. But the fact that they did that and they went to the end, and it puts a better sheen on the match, really, because I didn't see it. I didn't see that they deserved to be 3-0 down, and in the end they probably should have got a point. But it's sort of so near but so far against these big boys, isn't it, really?
It is. And we cannot end this podcast without a word of Ross Barkley. I went into the game expecting big things of Ross Barkley, and I liked the team sheets. Ross Barkley and Sambi Lokonga up against Moises Caicedo and Conor Gallagher. Well, Caicedo went for in about the first 2 minutes, and how many nutmegs he put through Conor Gallagher's legs in that first half alone was ridiculous. He hit the crossbar with the free kick as well, didn't he? That crossbar is not his friend. Someone stick it up another 6 inches, for Christ's sake.
Did he? I thought it went just over.
I thought it flicked the crossbar.
Well, either way, it's close.
Yeah, it looked like it flicked the crossbar. If it didn't, I haven't. We're recording this straight afterwards. I'm 100 yards away from it. Don't send me to Specsavers, please. But the key Barkley contribution in terms of highlight reel, there's a long ball. It's sort of ball bounces high up in the air, and Barkley's just at the penalty box, just below me. And he doesn't control it. He just backheels it on the volley, knowing full well that Chong's going to get to the byline. It was absolutely unbelievable. 3 Chelsea players right out the game. Credit to Tahith Chong, because he knew it was coming as well. So many players of the level that we've come from were like, oh, he's not going to be able to do anything with that. But he didn't. He was on his toes. And I think it was a last gasp clearance, wasn't it? Otherwise, we'd have got a goal. But the magic of this boy, even in defeat, you just go home with a warm feeling in your heart that you've just watched another Ross Barkley masterclass.
Yeah, I mean, he was the best player on the pitch. I mean, Chong had a good go at matching him in the second half.
Yeah, credit to Chong.
He was
absolutely brilliant.
Unbelievably come on and really proved a point. I mean, he'll get probably a full start against Bolton in the cup, wouldn't he? And if he really performs there, then that's his opportunity. He was great, but Barkley all game was fantastic. And it's just on occasion, you mentioned that one there from Chong, but on occasion, the rest of the players weren't really up to speed with it, because there was one occasion where he sort of burst forward and he was looking for a bit of movement, something to lay a pass off to, and there was nothing there, and he got the ball dispossessed off him, and it's just one of those where he's sometimes too good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've actually mugged Ross off, haven't I? Because, of course, he scored our first goal. Eli's first goal was disallowed for offside with Alfie Doughty just offside down here. I'm so used to...
What about this much?
I'm so used to Eli getting on the end of Alfie's corners. I completely forgot it was Ross Barkley who scored the first goal this afternoon.
I mean, at that point, it just seemed like a consolation, and the fact that they all jogged back to the halfway line sort of suggested it. But then after that, it was just the Alamo, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea are going to leave knowing full well that they've maybe not stolen 3 points, but they've ended up having to work really, really hard for 3 points. And he was not letting go of that ball for love nor money in the goal, Dizazi, when Eli did actually get a goal that counted. Ultimately, not to be. You cannot be anything but proud of the effort, certainly of the last half an hour of that game, and 2023 as a whole. I mean, what an absolutely incredible year. A 3-2 defeat for the second time that Chelsea have been down here in succession. They've run off with a 3-2 defeat. Proud, gutted, annoyed, but ultimately we live to fight another day in 2024, and we go on from there. As I say, 2 weeks off now from Premier League action. Obviously, we have Bolton in the Cup. Hopefully, we can pick up another morale-boosting win in that and see where it takes us. That's the thoughts of myself and James. I'm going to send James off to get the thoughts of Rob and a few of the key players. I'm sure we'll get Ross Barkley because he was absolutely superb. Maybe Tahith Chong as well, if he could stop him as well, and a couple of others. And here is what they had to say to James after the game.
A little bit of a game of what if only. I think the performance was brilliant though. And even from I know they went 3-0 up, so that probably changed people's perceptions a little bit, but we were incredibly brave. Difficult to find a way through and really create too much in the first half when the game's still maybe a little bit tighter. They're defending very, very well. And they're really good players. It's hard to find a way past people like Thiago Silva, it's difficult. But that being said, I thought we were really aggressive. We were on the front foot. We were asking a lot of questions. We gifted them the first goal, which is then a challenge. Second goal, I thought was brilliant skill. Ronnie Maduwaki, it was a brilliant goal, which we knew. We respected their quality. We knew they had that. The individuals, that front four are electric and can be when they, just even in moments, even if they're not at it consistently throughout the game, just even in moments. But I thought we started the second half really aggressively. Great intent, made some changes and really attacked the game. Continued to attack the game, I should say. Wasn't really a different message. It was just different personnel in some different places. And then, a third goal, which again is avoidable. But when we were in the ascendancy, I thought what pleased me most then is that game then could go one way or the other. Chelsea can go 4, 5, 6, 7. And we've seen that in the Premier League against better teams than us. For the players to then go and do what they did, I think it shows how special they are. So I know we have not got anything from the game, but I'll be able to sleep easier tonight than if we'd have just given up and gone and got beaten 4 or 5. We showed fight, we showed heart, we showed loads of quality. We took the ball, more of the ball than they did. And Chelsea, that doesn't really happen. We played we took the ball, we were really brave. We carried on being aggressive and wrestled the game back. In terms of result, I think that we were in the ascendancy, like I said. I think we almost wrestled the result back. So incredibly proud of the lads. If I look at the progress we've made from when we played Chelsea second game of the season to that game there today, I like the way that we're going. And if we can continue to improve and keep working the right way and keep improving, then we'll give ourselves a chance. I don't think really anyone can doubt that. I'm not saying we're going to do it and we're going to stay up. I believe we can, but we can give ourselves a chance with the performances that we've been given now over the last couple of months. And clearly, both boxes are really, really important, and we can't, concede those goals. I thought the first and the third were disappointing from our point of view and could have been avoided. really, apart from those, I know it's 3 goals, it's a lot, but apart from those 3, Chelsea then they weren't able to then create the pub. There was one that flashed across, I think, in the first half. There was a good block from Sambi in the second half, but there wasn't loads of saves then for Thomas to make, And then we did have big chances, you're right. We did have big chances. Victor Woodward a couple of times, the offside goal. There was some really good play there to actually create those chances. So think about the performance, keep creating, keep brushing up on the mistakes that we've made today. Keep learning and improving in those moments. But I'm seeing a lot of stuff that I like as well. Premier League's really hard to keep clean sheets. It's going to be difficult for us to keep clean sheets. 0s and 1s we talk about. That's the aim. It gives you a chance, a bit of a platform, a foothold in the game. Today we nearly found a way to get something from the game, even when we conceded 3. They're disappointed because they know we were good enough today to get something from it, and we showed that. The performance was excellent. Without the ball, we were aggressive and brave, happy to go 1v1 in big spaces against top players. And we knew at times there's a risk to that, but we felt the reward was greater than the risk. So that's what suits us. That's how we play. And they're going to get away. They're going to get through at times, but when we win it, we're dangerous as well. So there was the players can see how we're improving. They're on board. And I think they'll be flat and disappointed because we've not got something from the game, but they'll see the growth in the team. They'll see what we are doing. They'll see how well we're competing. They'll see that from game 2 to there now, there's been a huge leap in performance levels. And the only way to get out of the position that we're in is by working really hard and continuing to build and grow. So that they're flat, but there's a belief there, and they probably feel similar to me. After a good performance, you can sleep a little bit easier. If it was a poor performance and we'd lost, it's more difficult.
Ross, obviously not the result you wanted, but are there positives you could take from that?
Yeah, positives to take. A good side, with a lot of talent. We conceded 3 goals, responded really well. Scored 2 goals, could have easily won the game in the end if there was. I don't know why there was 6 minutes at a time when we're behind, but when we're winning the game, like 10 minutes at a time, it's strange. But if we would have had maybe 8, we could have. Who knows? We were pushing, and they didn't look like they were under the push. They were on the rope. So I think maybe if we had a few more minutes, we probably could have had an equaliser, but. And responded really well, and I'm sure the fans will go away from it with all being positive. Yeah,
it seems like they spent about 6 minutes rolling on the floor, didn't they? They should have got more than that. But I guess you look at 2 things: that conceding the goals, but then the way you responded and the way you finished that game was very strong.
Yeah. Like I say, great team spirit in there. You go behind, you respond well. We went behind last week and we won the game. It's great response from the team, and it speaks for itself. The way, some teams in the league might go down 3-0 and then just drop their heads, and then you could see another 2 and come away from the game with a 5-0 defeat. But we conceded 3, responded well, and we just keep pushing. This is what this club's about.
Last one then. Have you seen improvements up till now, and what do you think is going to be the key for the second half of the season?
Well, we played all the big teams. We played all the teams lower in the table. And we came away with a lot of belief and positivity and confidence in the results against the likes of Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham, Man City, Newcastle. Them type of games. So that, maybe some teams are coming here thinking that it might be a bit of a rollover, but, everyone knows they're in with the game when they play against us now, and we're growing. You see the strikers putting in. Carlton came on last week, made a difference today. Eli's getting goals. Now they've settled in, they've bedded into the Premier League, and they know that this is the level that they should be at, and everyone else is growing. Andros is growing game by game. Sambi's growing, our defensive players are growing, everyone's growing in confidence. So I think second half of the season, there'll be a bit more expectation on us from ourselves. And we'll keep pushing to get results. And, we've got 15 points. We should have had more. But if we can double that and get more results going our way with a bit of luck, I think we can, aim to the 40-point mark. So we can keep pushing and stay strong together and have a good second half of the season.
Teeth, in the end it was so near you, but yet so far. Do you take positives from how you finished that game?
Yeah, I think throughout the season, really, we've faced, during games adversity, but I think the way we've reacted all the time has been brilliant. I think that's just a squad thing where everyone is just keep going and keep trying to still do something positive for the game.
Yourself seem to have a big impact in that, the final 10, 15 minutes as well. What were the instructions coming off the bench?
Yeah, I think obviously, the gaffer just said, come on and try to impact the game. I don't think it was only me. I think, Chio, all the players coming on, but also the players that was still on. I think all 11 second half, we pushed and tried to still do something positive with the game.
In the first half, you used the widths well, as got into lots of crossing positions, but the final ball perhaps not there. But in the second half, particularly when you came on, there was lots of dangerous balls in the box, and it just needed that sort of one little touch, I guess. Yeah,
I think it was unfortunate. I think we hit the crossbar as well and loads of opportunities. I think it's positive because, we're creating chances. But, obviously you want them in the back of the net. But like I said, there's some close ones where, I think they were inches away, which is unfortunate, but we just got to keep working.
Come on. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like there was a lot of belief in the stadium that something could come. And I guess while that's still there, you can use that as well going forward.
Yeah, I think the fans, the fans are always brilliant. We go 2 or 3-0 down and, they're still being loud and still singing and that gives us energy as well to keep pressing and to keep going. So it's a massive plus to have them behind us always, every single game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the result you wanted to end the year, but it has been a relatively positive Christmas period, hasn't it?
Yeah, but then again, you see the changing room is still, disappointed, and that says a lot of where we've, come from and how we've grown as a group, to still wanting to win or still get something out of that game. So we've, as a team, we've grown so much, and it's so good to see.
You're at the halfway mark now, aren't you? Can you sort of put your finger on what might be the difference as you go into the second half?
I think for us is what we've always done. Week in, week out, we've kept improving as a team, and I think for us again is can we go again and can we improve again and can we get better every single game? Really,
it is getting a bit of pill to swallow at this point because we know the performances are there, but with these big sides coming here, we have lost the game at the end of the day, so we are perfectionists. We'll be working hard just to not make it just good performances, but turn them into results as well. That's one thing that it does give. It gives you belief in the performances when, we can do it here against the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Chelsea, teams like these. It gives us belief moving forward, and that's why we've found a bit of form recently, I think. And obviously, after the game, standing ovation from the crowd again today, they've been fantastic this year, stuck with us week in, week out, and that's, it can't be underestimated how important that is. This level, it's just crucial to be so focused and so perfect when it comes to that, in being in both boxes, defensively and attacking. And they're the fine details that we're improving on. We're much better now than we were at the start of the season. So you can see that we're evolving as a side.
This team's ability to go right to the end of games. I mean, you threw the kitchen sink at them in the last 10, 15 minutes, and that's got to be a positive standard this thing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I really do think that starts with the fans as well. Obviously, we've got a great squad and good characters, but even at 3-0, they're not quiet. The atmosphere doesn't go flat at all, and it keeps us. We get another corner, we're up on our feet, and that gets us going as a group of players. So, that's important to us.
Andros, obviously not the way you'd want to finish this Christmas period, but it's been a positive one. How do you assess it?
No, it's definitely been positive to get back-to-back wins in the Premier League. It's always difficult, so we're delighted with that. We were coming into this game expecting to get something from this game, so we didn't do that, and we're disappointed, but we have to learn. You never lose, you always learn, and we learn from today, and we take it into the Burnley, which is a massive, massive game for us, and look to get more points.
I suppose you'd look at the 3 goals you conceded but also at the same time look at the way that you responded in that last sort of 20 minutes.
And I think that's the most important thing. When you're down the bottom, it's knowing when you go behind, you can bring it back. And we've done that since I've been in. We've done that time and time again. So many games we've come back from losing positions or almost got back from losing positions. So we have to, like I said, we have to learn and take that into Burnley and not make those same mistakes and make sure we pick up some points.
I guess you want to pick up points against every team you play, but the teams, the likes of Chelsea and that, are probably the ones you're not expected to take points against. But the performance was very, very good. Apart from,
I think we expect to take points. This is not, if this was at the start of the season, it might be a different story, but we expect, we should have got points against Arsenal, should have got points against City. We came here expecting 3 wins on the spin. I know that's not easy. We fell short, but we're definitely expecting to win, especially at Kenilworth Road. We expect to win every game, and we believe that we will win every game. But today we just fell short. We've got to learn from it and move on.
You seem to be carrying a goal threat in most games now, and that's obviously going to be very important, because if you weren't getting the chances or weren't scoring the goals, there'd be cause for concern.
Yeah, I think at the start of the season we were creating a lot of chances but weren't putting them away. But I think now, whether it be Carlton Morris, Eli, or whoever's up front in the wide areas, we're carrying a goal threat, and that's so important. That's going to carry us through, hopefully to safety.
Let's talk about you, Andros, because the manager said the talks are happening now about potential move. How hopeful are you? Potential deal, sorry. How hopeful are you that can happen? Where are you with it?
I don't want to count my chickens before it's hatched, but I think we're almost there. I don't think it was a case of there wasn't much work, because obviously this is the club that gave me my chance when no one else would. So it wasn't a case of pitting them against other clubs and what have you. It was Luton and Luton only. I think we're on the cusp of something very special, so it'll be difficult to leave halfway through. And yeah, we're almost there, but I don't want to get excited until it's signed on the deadline.
You've talked so glowingly of this club anyway since you've been here. What has it meant to you to be here?
I think first and foremost, the aim was just to get back playing in the Premier League, and that was the special thing. But along the way, I've been lucky enough that I've joined a special club, a club who was special and went through the leagues long before I joined. But I think, like I said before, we could do something really special this season. We all believe that in the dressing room, and that was the main reason why I'm signing on. And hopefully we can do that.
Okay, that's what the manager and the players thought of the afternoon, James. I mean, still so much to look forward to in 2024. Just this defeat doesn't stop our chances of staying up. We just need to be a little bit more clinical. That's all, really.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's frustrating. Obviously, you look back on it and think what could have been, like it has been against many of the big boys, really, here at Kenilworth Road. But, the fact that they've gone right to the end and give Kenilworth Road Luton fans a real hope that they could get something in this game, suggests that they could go to any other teams below the top, top 10, maybe even top 6, and get something. So it looks positive.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully results go our way for the remainder of the afternoon, and
we get some light on us again.
We get some more light on us again, and we look forward to 2024, where hopefully we achieve everything that the town is setting out to do. Just before we end this podcast, thanks again for all of your support throughout the whole of 2023. We've loved bringing you these podcasts. It's been a fantastic year to cover Luton Town anyway, but we've really enjoyed doing these podcasts. We really enjoy doing them for all the support that you give us. And hopefully that continues in 2024 and beyond. Just like to say a happy new year once again to Luton fans all around the world. Enjoy however it is that you're going to celebrate this weekend. And we'll see you all ready for a Bolton preview coming up ahead of the FA Cup game next week. James, happy new year, mate.
You, mate.
And until next time, come on, you Hatters.
Believe it! We are Premier League! Yes!
I love this town. I love this town. I love this town. You know what I love about this town is actually you. Everyone in it has got these massive souls.
We're Luton people, and that's what we care about.